This year's Tirreno-Adriatico features an unprecedented start list and sees some of the biggest names in stage racing face off. The 7-day race begins with a team time trial through Lido di Camaiore, which will set the scene in the general classification. There'll be a couple of opportunities for the sprinters in the opening days before the mountains take over. The final day pan-flat time trial will likely keep the overall victory open right until the end. Here are Cycling News' top 10 riders to watch for Tirreno-Adriatico. Alberto Contador returns to the race as a defending champion after taking 2 dominating stage victories to claim the general classification by more than 2 minutes. Contador is looking to tackle the fabled Giro Tour double this season, and he's already got off to a flying start. He'll have learned his lessons from the Ruta del Sol, where he dug deep to beat Chris Froome, only to struggle the following day. While he may have lost out in Andalusia, he's in good form and is a strong contender to take the title again. It's Vincenzo Nibali's first appearance at Tirreno-Adriatico since 2013, but as a 2-time champion of this race, he knows what it takes to win on these roads. He had a relatively quiet start to the year compared to his fellow Grand Tour rivals, seemingly using his opening races in the Middle East as warm weather training. Becoming a new father is likely to have played a role in his unassuming start. For that reason, his form is an unknown quantity, and his performance here could go either way. Nairo Quintana finally makes his European debut for 2015, after recovering from a crash at the Colombian National Championships at the beginning of February. He was due to ride the Ruta del Sol, but chose to stay in Colombia following the crash, and is likely to add the Tour de Romandy to his calendar to make up for the racing he missed. Quintana may have less racing in the legs, but that should mean he's fresher than his rivals, and he'll have his eyes on the summit finish at Terminilo. Tirreno-Adriatico will be the first opportunity for Rigoberto Uran to show off his new Colombian national time trial colours. Since he took the title, he has only raced on 3 more occasions, and of the overall contenders, Uran has probably had the smallest number of race days so far. This year is a key one for Uran, with his contract at Etixx Quick-Step coming to a close at the end of this season. Etixx have won the team time trial in the last 2 editions, and Uran will be hoping they can do it for a 3rd time. For the first time since his debut season in 2010, Peter Sagan has entered March without a victory in his palmares. After signing a big money deal to join Tinkoff Saxo this year, the pressure will be on Sagan to deliver the goods. In the past, he's had a solid record at Tirreno-Adriatico, winning a stage on each occasion he's ridden. He'll be sharing the leadership role with Alberto Contador, which is something he's not used to, but it could help him divert some of the pressure off his shoulders. Mark Cavendish comes to the race on a high after taking victory at Kuurne-Brussels-Kuurne at the start of the month. With 5 wins this season plus the overall classification at the Dubai Tour, Cavendish currently leads the victory standings. He seemed furious after Kuurne that his team hadn't believed in him, and to be surely fired up for this race. This year's route will bring him back to the scene of his victory in 2014 at Porto de Sant'Elpidio, where he has a strong chance of success this time round. After racing in Australia and Asia, Tirreno-Adriatico marks the beginning of Marcel Kittel's European campaign. Since winning his opening race of the year at the People's Choice Classic Criterium, Kittel has yet to raise his arms in victory. Stages 2 and 3 will be the best chances for Kittel to rectify that statistic, with the lumpier stages to come probably too challenging for the German. Giant Alpecin mean business, and have set Kittel up with a strong lead-out train that includes Luka Mezgec, who's a stage contender in his own right. Bauke Mollema is looking to get his season back on track after falling ill at the Ruta del Sol last month. Mollema has been building up to the spring nicely with a good performance at the Vuelta a Murcia, and will hope that the small hiccup hasn't caused too much disruption. With a string of top names in the race, the podium will be a real challenge for Mollema, but it's within his grasp. Trek Factory Racing also bring time trial favourite Fabian Cancellara to the race. Louis Meintjes' star continues to rise year on year, and he looks to be on the brink of a major result. His big focus will be a spot in MTN Quebec's Tour de France team in July, and his early season performances will help him achieve that. Meintjes arrives at the race in good form, with victory in the road race at the African Continental Championships and the Tour of Oman's Young Rider classification. He's shown that he can stay with the best in the world, and Tirreno has a chance to push himself further. With his team leader Chris Froome dropping out through to illness, Leopold Konig is likely to take the reins for Team Sky. Konig is set to take joint leadership at the Giro with Richie Porte, and this is a chance to step up and show the team what he can do. Konig has had a solid start to the season, but suffered in the Oman heat last month. The cooler climes of Italy in spring should be more favourable, and he's a threat to the overall contenders.